Hello and welcome to the Muse Talk. My name is Gadede Segbefia. Here we speak with artists. We get to know how their craft started, how it's going, and what the future looks like for them. This episode is brought to you by Versus Space and Happy Woods Creatives. They are experts in your logo designs, banners, flyers, whatever the design is. Just call the numbers scrolling on your screen and they will sort you out. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll be right back after this break.
So our elders say you cannot convince a fly that honey is sweeter than physics. You are watching the Muse Talk. Yo. What's up? My name is Natty Ugly, Nattyogli, and you are watching the Muse Talk, Molly.
Welcome back. It's still the Muse Talk. In case you just joined us, this is the Muse Talk. My guest today is Naana. Naana is a violinist. They call her the new face of violin. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm good. So, tell me, for a lady playing violin, I hardly see that. How did it start for you?
Okay, so I'd say that I've always loved music since I was growing up. And as to why I chose the violin specifically, I like to challenge myself. I don't like to do things that everyone is doing. So I've always wanted to learn an instrument. I already played at Entebben. So I was looking for an instrument that wasn't so common.
Okay.
And at the time I started, we didn't have a lot of violinists in the system. So I felt like, it would be a really cool instrument that I could take up. Yeah.
So calling it a challenge, was it difficult learning?
Well, at the time I didn't see a lot of people doing it, so I felt like it was different.
Okay.
Yes, and it wasn't something you would see around on a normal day. If you mention musical instruments, everybody wants to learn the piano,
the guitar.
Yes. So I felt like, okay, if you don't have a lot of people doing it, then it's something I would want to do. Because why then don't we have a lot of people doing it? Is it that you don't have? So first of all, there were not enough teachers.
Okay.
Even to get the instrument was a problem because it's not a native instrument. So getting some to buy in town was a problem. So I wanted that challenge. I always want to take the difficult way around.
Okay. So tell me something about Naana. Who is Naana?
Okay, so I'm just a simple person. I love music, like I said in the beginning. I'm just 28 years old. Yes, I'm 28 years old. I was born in Kumasi, and my parents moved to Accra. Yeah, so I started my basic school in Morning Star. Then I went to Johannes Education Center for junior high school. Then I went to Methodist Girls Senior High School, and then I came to University of Ghana to study psychology.
Oh, nothing music.
Yeah, nothing. I didn't study anything music. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's basically me. So I've just been doing music my whole life ever since I completed school. But aside that, I was into radio and TV presentation.
Okay.
But then again, with radio and TV presentation, I felt like there were too many people doing it at the time. Yeah, so I just wanted something different. So that's how come.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been doing violin
So you did nothing psychology?
Nothing music, actually. Yeah.
No, I mean after studying psychology in school, you didn't practice?
No, not at all. Yeah, so I'm yet to further. So for psychology, if you want to actually practice, you have to have like your master's degree, and then before you can get like your license and all that. Yeah, so I'm yet to do that. Yeah, something I want to do in the future.
You definitely do it.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so where did you get to study the violin? Did you have to go to school, or how did you do it?
Okay, so first, when I was in primary school in Morning Star, we had like extra curriculum activities on Wednesdays, and then again it's me, the person that loves challenging things. So I tried a lot of things. I tried Girl Scouts
stuff a lot.
Yes, everything was boring.
Okay.
Then I saw the school orchestra. So at the time, you would not really be given the opportunity to loiter about during those times, and I didn't want to belong to any club. But I felt like those in the school orchestra.
Girl Guide?
No, I didn't. Girl Guide was boring. You have to do beats. Like they're always learning something new. I wanted something different, something cool. So we had the school orchestra then, and there were not so many people in the school orchestra. I just had some few people. So I saw them every Wednesday after school carrying the violin bag. And I felt like, oh, this would be cool. So I went to join them. But violin is such that if you don't handle it properly, it gets it's always a problem. Like you have a string broken or something. So the school had lots of violins, but then most of them were like damaged in one way. So there were not enough to practice with. Yeah, so I joined the team, but then I didn't have a violin of my own to practice with. That was one challenge. And then I had some issues with paying fees and all that. Yeah, so I had to leave the school, and I never came into contact with the violin again until after school. That was after senior high school. That's when I met someone who was playing the violin. So I developed interest again. Yeah, so primary school, there was no one to teach. And then after school, I met this person, and I only met him for about 2 weeks. But he was busy at the time. So he left. He's not a Ghanaian. So he left, and I was left to no one again. So I felt like I can't have the instrument and not have anyone teach me. Yeah,
So how long have you been playing now? Now that you're done studying it and playing it, how long has it been?
okay, so I started in 2013. That's when I started learning. So it's been 10 years. Yeah, 10
How
years.
has it been so far?
It's not been an easy journey.
Tell me about the journey.
I won't lie, it's not been an easy journey. So I'll say my first few years, that's from 2013 to 2018, I was just having fun with the instrument. Yes, I just wanted to do it as a hobby. In 2018, after Ebony died, they needed a female violinist to do a tribute to Ebony at the Vodafone Ghana Music Awards. Yeah, so someone reached out to me that, oh, there's a spot here. And at the time I was a hustler, let me put it down. I'm still a hustler though, but at the time I needed quick money, like things that I could do aside schooling to earn some money for myself. So I was like, oh, why not? And I was very shy, but I wanted to take up the challenge. So I rehearsed with the musicians involved, Efia, Adina, Akose Japan, and Miss V. So we did a rehearsal, and then I did my first official like performance. And after that performance, people started reaching out to me for events. Then I felt like, okay, well, this is a hobby, but if it can fetch me money, then why not? So
that means it fetched you a lot of money.
Exactly, because I was the only one that was known at the time. No one was known. And during those times when I was in school, I would take the violin after class, sit down, record videos of myself playing. Yeah, so I'll post it on social media, and that's how people got to know me. Yeah, so I started doing that. So I had no training at all. I didn't have anyone teaching me. I just go on the internet, YouTube, search how to play this song on the violin. If I don't get it, I'll try one note after the other, see which one works, and then that was it.
Okay, so we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
What's up, people? You welcome to my channel. My name is Mr. Music, and this is the Biscuit Podcast.
That's why it's between two matured people.
That's why before the beginning we understood what we're doing. We are grown-ups. We know what we are doing. And you have to know, I'm in love with you, but that's not what we agreed on in the beginning.
We want to leave. And it's like, so divorce rates are higher and all because if we were to do our traditional style of
that
marriage,
traditional thing is what pisses me off. That's what me I am trying to say.
No, why do you
that-
we are the type of girl you want?
it means that only
with big boobs. Yes. Yes.
And then you come back to that.
Thank you.
7 years ago, things changed. See, that's a problem. You are not my type.
Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to subscribe. See you on the flip side.
Let the money pass it, David. I go put them straight in your libido. You go shout, Remy Fasola.
Welcome back. It's still the Muse Talk, and I have been having a very interesting conversation with Nana. Okay, so I know a few guys who play the violin. Were you in the violin community before they joined, or you met them?
Okay, so while I was in University of Ghana, I was studying psychology. I actually wanted to do music. That was what I wanted to do. I chose music throughout, but I wasn't given the course. So when I went there, I felt like I could take that opportunity, visit the music department, and be a part of it. So I went there. I tried to join them, but I was told because it wasn't my course, I think there were some payments that were to be made, and it wasn't going to be possible. So I was only given the opportunity to join the string ensemble that was on Wednesdays. So after class, now I had to combine my course with music as a part-time something. So after class, I'll go to the music department and join the string ensemble. So I met most of them in the string ensemble.
Okay.
Yes, but then at the time, everyone was doing classical music, like because it was something that was being studied in school. Everyone was focused on what they were being taught. But I was from a different place altogether, and I wasn't doing well with the
So
classical.
you're not
I
like
couldn't
fitting in, sort of.
exactly. I didn't fit in at all. I didn't know anything that was going on. It's like they're being taught in class, and then they come and do the practical aspect, and I wasn't there in the class. So how do I do this?
Yeah.
So whenever we would rehearse, I was finding it difficult to fit in. So I'd go back home. I try and I see it's not working out. Then maybe I hear some trending song,
Okay.
Afrobeat, and I try and it works for me over there. So I quit that one and I started doing the Afrobeat
Okay.
aspect. Yeah. So I came out because of my social media stuff, and then I'm sure others saw it and then also
Okay.
started
Okay.
posting on social
Okay.
media, and then now we've become.
So you're more or less like an Afrobeat violinist, right?
Yeah, I would say I started with that, but it's not something I really love. I think I really love the pop, doing pop
Okay.
music.
Okay.
Yes, so maybe
Okay.
weddings and stuff like that. Yeah, I like playing songs like that. But then the Afrobeat moves more. Yeah, so I do a blend of all of them.
So how comfortable, how accommodating are your other violinist colleagues, if I should call it that way?
This issue. So I don't know. Some of them are very, very cool. Some
Okay.
of them, others are not so cool. I don't know what the issue is.
Could it be
but
competition?
yes, I think that's the main problem, and I think it's everywhere. It's wherever you find yourself. There are very few people that support what you do. Okay, so I think mine is more of, okay, she doesn't know anything, she's self-taught.
Okay. So just because of that,
Yeah, she's self-taught, she's not that good, but she has the hype. Okay, I think that's
she's
that's
not that good.
yeah, she's not that good, because I would admit that most of them are better than me. I don't praise myself so much to say I'm the best. No,
Okay.
I'm really good, but they were like, most of them are there.
Could it be
so
because they've been to school and they've learned like the basics, so they are following a particular?
exactly.
But
So,
you are like the black sheep of the whole community.
exactly. So it's like, for me, I don't really have they have it on the spot, like maybe there's someone to guide them to do it,
Okay.
but I don't have that. So I like to learn from them, and I always say it everywhere I go that wherever I find myself, I never claim I'm the best. Okay, so I'm always willing to learn. If you are willing to reach out, oh hey, you need to work on this, you need to work on that, I'm
But are they
always up
willing
for
to
it.
teach though?
Well, few of them reach out that, oh, I want to help you do this, and then I'm always available. If wherever you want me to meet you, I would meet you, and then I'm ready, I'm game.
Okay.
But then others would hold back, they won't want to help, and then go back and like they see you out there trending or doing so well, and
Yeah.
then it's like there's that hate attached to it. Yeah, I see it all, but I really don't mind.
I think that kind of attitude runs through every area of life.
Exactly.
Even corporate, I'm sure they have people who are
Exactly.
a bit protective about what they do and all that. So what project have you been on?
Okay, so projects per se, I wouldn't say I'm currently doing any projects. I'm just focused on getting better at my craft. Yes, because if for anything at all, if I'm to get there, I need to constantly keep working on myself. And the violin, like every other instrument, is a lifelong learning instrument. So you never finish learning.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get to a certain level and then start working on some things in the future.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't really intend on say staying where I am till eternity. Yeah, I see a lot of violinists coming up. It's a dream or it's a goal to one day step aside for someone to also take over. Because I see a lot of people putting in the work. So for me, I'm rather aimed at, first of all, I would like to help less privileged kids. It's something that's really on my heart that I want to do in the future. I'd love to take up the challenge of helping autistic kids learn how to play the violin.
How easy would that be?
It's not going to be easy, I know. But I love to challenge myself. I like to put in the challenge. Yeah. So I love to take up that challenge, help autistic, because I've seen people with issues. If I say issues, maybe I've seen blind people play the piano. I've seen deaf people play the piano.
I wonder how they do all that.
Exactly. So I know children with autism. I choose autism because of my psychological background. Because we work with people with psychology in general. I work with people with mental health issues, people with behavioral issues, and stuff like that. So I'd want to tackle autistic kids and then help them. I'm a very patient person when it comes to that. So I want to help them. No matter how long it takes me, I'm determined to make that happen. Yeah. So that's one. And then also I'd want to move away from this side, join orchestras out there, like outside of Ghana. Yeah, like maybe the Tabernacle Choir at the Temple Square, the Latter-day Saints, they have this orchestra. Yeah, it's my dream to be a part of it someday. And then other big groups out there. Yeah, so that's...
So for now, you play violin full-time. That's like your full-time job. Yeah. When I don't know whether you have the same story as other artists, but when you decided to do violin full-time, how did family and friends take it? Did they encourage you? Did they discourage you? How did it go?
Okay, so family, I would say I had 100% support from my family, because my mom is the one that led me to take up the violin. Yeah, because she bought the violin for me first of all. And then the times I was really struggling to figure out the whole instrument, she would sit me down, listen to me, and be like, nah, this note is flat. This note is too sharp.
Wait, did she have a music background?
Nope, but she used to sing.
Okay.
Yeah, so she would sing in church. So she had the ear, the listening ear. Yeah. So if it was out of tune, she would know. So she was guiding me in the beginning until she passed, unfortunately. So after she passed, my dad has been my biggest support. Whatever event I have, my dad doesn't hold me back. He's always been my number one supporter. And I have friends around me too who are not music people, but they would cheer me up. I remember I've been to some programs where I had issues with confidence, like, so with the colleagues I have in this industry, sometimes you go out there, you go and perform, and then you see people see you out there, and then you later hear that this person said this about you, about your performance, and it could really break you down. But then I have friends around me that even with that, they would encourage me, oh, hey, don't worry, it's fine, like, keep going. And they have been the ones pushing me, and I've gotten this far. So I'm very, very grateful to friends.
You know, I keep smiling when you say that, because you have the parent every creative person would want.
Love. Yeah.
Yes. So how was it like growing up?
Oh, it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was rosy for me, because I'm not from a rich home. Yeah, my mom used to
you went to Morning Star, girl.
Oh, yeah, I went to Morning Star.
Please.
This question is actually funny. So my dad was well-to-do at the time I was in Morning Star.
He could pay Morning Star fees.
Yes, he could pay fees at the time. Until my dad lost his job along the line. So things became difficult. So after my dad lost his job, we tried to keep up with Morning Star, but it wasn't working out until junior high school when I left. Yeah, so from junior high school all the way to university, it wasn't easy for me. Yes, so.
But I think the Morning Star Foundation was good.
Yeah,
because it helped you develop the desire for even challenging yourself.
Exactly.
Say that.
Exactly.
So are you signed under any label, if there's anything like that in your space?
Oh, at the moment, no. So I do everything myself. I have just one or two friends who help out. Yeah, so they support with everything I do, but I'm not signed on to any label at the moment. But I think a couple have reached out that, oh, we want to sign you, but we've not really gone deep into that conversation yet. Yeah.
Okay. So when you want someone to sign you up, what do you look out for?
For me, I like honesty and transparency. Yeah, because the violin is my whole life, and I've seen people get signed on to labels that have actually it's not done them any good. It's rather taking them back. Yeah. So if some people would come to you and the main focus is not to help you grow. They have other things they're looking out. Exactly. Yeah. So for me, that's one thing. I need to see that you are interested in my progress. Okay. If it's about money making, we can all come together, bring ideas together, and make the money. But then first of all, I need to see that you are interested in my progress. Like we've made, even with the people around me that are supporting, a lot has gone into getting me this far. So,
so you can't come and destroy
exactly.
it.
You just come and then do anything anyhow. Yeah. So once I see that, I think that's.
But do we have corporate people managing violinists in Ghana here?
I don't think.
Or is the normal music people that manage violinists as well?
I don't think there's anybody outside managing any violinist in Ghana. I stand to be corrected.
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
think there's anybody. I think it's our individual efforts that we are putting together. Because even with the groups we have, it's the same people in the space that are they're just helping each other. We use our social media platforms to, yeah. But there are some people in the music space that have reached out, but then the conversation never gets far. It's
Yeah.
always, yeah.
Okay, so now I can say that the community is growing.
Yeah.
What makes you different from the other violinists?
What makes me different? I would say my style.
What's your style?
I'll say my style. So I noticed something. I would say I even noticed it. I'll say that people even brought it to my attention because for me, I stopped looking at the violin community in Ghana. I decided to focus on myself and then look at the community outside, see what they are doing differently, and apply it to our space. And then it worked for me.
Okay.
So I moved away, first of all, from playing classical music. Not that classical music isn't good, but I felt like people weren't paying attention to that. Most Ghanaians were not. It was like, okay, we've heard this over and over again. When they see violin, the first thing that comes to mind is classical music. That was the first thing. So I moved away from that. I started doing something different that will be appealing and would bring eyes onto what I'm doing. So I started with Afrobeat and I realized it worked. Even if I wasn't playing it so well at the time, I noticed that I was getting a lot of media attention. So people would reach out to me, hey, can you come? I need you on my show. So that was the first thing. When I started that, I noticed most violinists stopped. I won't say they stopped completely. Some still do it. But then most people moved away from doing classical to Afrobeat, high life, and stuff like that. So it started selling. That's one thing. Second thing is my style. I stopped you see violinists at events and it's always black and white.
Yeah.
Black and white.
Why? Is it like a uniform for you guys?
I think it's the outfits that most violinists wear outside. Like when you see an orchestra outside, there's always like an official attire. Yeah, so I stopped doing that.
Okay.
I stopped wearing black and white. I started moving. I started focusing on fashionable stuff. So I would speak to fashion designers. This is what I do. Can you come up with something I could wear that? And then attention came onto that as well. So I noticed even some bloggers picked that, started making stories out of it. Yes, I saw a post on Amel Deborah's page. I saw Ghana Web, like they started picking up the fashion aspect. And then before I realized, it became a thing.
Yeah, pace setter.
Violinists started taking up. Yeah, so I think that's what makes me different from,
That's interesting. So, you're a woman.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know whether this sounds biased, but you're a woman. Have you encountered any challenge in the industry?
Yeah.
Specifically because you're a woman.
Yes, I have. First of all, let me talk about the positive aspect of that, and then I come to the negative. So the positive aspect, I got a better and a bigger platform because I'm a woman.
Sure.
So I got the hype really quick because I'm a lady doing this. So a lot of media people took that up and then they used that to push me up. That was the first thing. The negative side of it, I've met musicians. I wouldn't say, not even in the violin community, that is different, but musicians outside the community that look at me. I remember there was one person that looked at me and was like, so I needed help from someone and I called the person, and the person, it was another friend that linked me up with the person. So I spoke to the person and I was like, oh, hey, my name is Nana and I got your number from this person. I need your help doing this. And the person was like, you are a lady? And I said, yes. No, I'm sorry, I can't help you. And I was like, why? When that guy spoke to me, I thought it was a guy I was helping. But as a lady, why are you doing this? You are taking our gigs. You're not supposed to be doing this. You're taking our gigs from us. As a lady, you should be selling Indomie by the street.
No, the person actually said that.
Yeah, that's why exactly. Yeah, I felt very, very offended. Like, I should be selling Indomie by the street.
I mean, no disrespect to Indomie sellers, but...
Yeah, but why would you tag... I mean, a guy could also be selling Indomie by the street. So it's not a gender-biased kind of thing. So
how long ago was this?
Oh, this was, I think, last year. Yeah.
2022.
Yeah. So I even spoke to some friends of mine. I was like, people are still having this mentality in 2022. Like, that's
interesting.
Yeah. So those are some of the things. And I'm sure there are others that will think of it in that way. like have that mentality, but I will not say it. This person was just brave enough to
To
say it. Yeah.
I mean, think it, fine, but don't
say
it.
Yeah. So he said that he said a couple of times, but I had to just keep. I never said anything about it. I
Yeah.
just kept quiet because I needed his help. So I just laughed over it. Oh,
But did he help
doesn't-
eventually?
Oh yeah, he did help
And did
eventually.
he see that
And then
you were more than
after
an
he
Indomie
helped,
seller?
yes, after he helped, I now came back and said, "You said this in the beginning. I wasn't okay with it." And he was like, "Oh, you were just joking about
No,
it."
no,
I'm like,
no.
"No, you don't. Not everyone is going to take that
Yes,
like
it wasn't.
that."
Did you laugh?
So-
Did he laugh after saying that?
Oh yeah,
No.
well, no, the first time he didn't laugh, but when I brought his attention to it, that's when
Exactly.
he
So he
laughed
wasn't
about it.
joking then. He was serious.
Yeah. So yeah, that was one weird moment. Yeah.
I know. We'll keep fighting that.
For that,
anyways.
yeah.
So what's the future looking like for you? You mentioned a few things you want to do in the future, but
Yeah.
what other things would you like to do?
Well, after first of all, I would say that I'm glad that right now the violin community is really growing.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see. I see young people coming up. I see some of them reach out to me. How did you do it? How did you get there? I need your help doing this and doing that. First of all, I would say that it's tough, but don't give up. I mean, everything is tough.
Everything
Doing
creative
everything
is tough, I guess.
Yes, it's tough. You'd face challenges. There are things that will hold you back, and you feel like giving up, but you shouldn't give up. Just keep going. Yeah. So I would say I'm very, very happy that it's gotten this far. For me in the future, I would want to go back to doing violin as a hobby. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's one thing. I'm more of a science person. I would want to go back and do my psychology. Yes. So once I see that the violin is coming up, like it gets the point where yeah, I feel like I'm okay. I'll just step down and then I'll do it as a hobby, maybe play for people for the love of. I love to see people get happy. I love to go places and I play and people are like, "Oh, I'm really happy I met you today." There was a woman I met, she said she was 60 years, if I recall, and she said I played for her and she was like, "This is the first time in my whole 60 years of seeing a woman play violin in Ghana." And it was her birthday and she said it's the best birthday present.
Aww.
Things like that really make me
know,
happy.
they go so far.
Yes, I would want to move away from doing violin for the money and then doing it just for the love of it. Yes. And then focusing on something else like my psychology, helping people with behavioral issues, mental health challenges, brain, neurological disorders and stuff like that. Yeah.
Would you use music to do that though?
Yes.
I hear music helps with psychology and stuff like that.
So I would want to explore. So that's when I step back from doing violin as a major thing that's going to fetch me money and then rather apply the music aspects with the psychology aspect.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what's your next big challenge since you like a good challenge?
My next big challenge, I would say is the one with the autistic kids. It's something I've really been thinking about. Like, how am I going to do this? Yeah, because when I sit down, I watch a lot of videos. I'm actually part of the Mr. and Miss Autism. I perform every year with Mr. and Miss Autism.
No wonder you have the desire.
Exactly. Yeah. That. So every time we go out there and I watch these kids and I see the things they can do, the modeling and all that, I see some of the things. I'm like, wow. I wonder how it's going to be applying music, and it's really it really gingers me, and I want to start doing it. Yeah. So I think that's the next big challenge for me. Yeah.
That's interesting. So in case someone wants to book you for a show, who should they contact? Social media handles, just put it out there. Okay, so in case anyone wants to book me, first of all, my social media handles across all platforms is Naana The Violinist. So the same spelling as Nana, Naana, but Naana The Violinist on all platforms, Instagram, Facebook, whatever platform you can think of is Naana The Violinist. Yeah, and then my contact number is 020-906 3302 020-906 3302. So any of these, I'm on social media, so if you reach out to me, you get to me. If not, you can call and please reach out to Nana if you want to add that spice to your event. Thank you so much for coming. I had a very interesting conversation. But that Indomie guy, we'll deal with him later. No, I'll not take it like that. It's the Muse Talk. My name is Gadede Segbefia. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget that this episode is brought to you by Versus Space and Happy Woods Creative. They are experts in your logo designs, your banners, your flyers. Just call them and they will sort you out. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share.